A lot of YouTubers, fitness YouTubers, have been doing videos about intuitive eating and why intuitive eating is not good and all this stuff. And honestly, intuitive eating isn't what it sounds like. I thought intuitive eating was eating intuitively, okay? And there are a couple diet systems, which I'll go over, that allow you to eat healthfully relatively intuitively, okay? But before that, I want to talk about what the diet actually is. And I wrote down the 10 principles of intuitive eating from healthline.com. The diet was founded by, and believe me, this is not, I mean, I'll get over it when I read it, but they call it the anti-diet. There's no such thing as an anti-diet. This is a fad diet to the T. It is a garbage diet, period, that is based in nothing. I don't care what they say, what research they show. This diet is insane. Okay, so the founders were Evelyn Tribole, and I left a link to her website, and Elise Reich. Now, these are from healthline.com, these principles, and I wrote them down because I want to make sure I get them right. I would hate it if somebody took out of context what I said, and therefore I don't want to take what they say out of context. So it says, reject diet mentality. Intuitive eating is the anti-diet. Honor your hunger. Respond to your early signs of hunger by feeding your body. If you get too hungry, you are likely to overeat. Make peace with food. Call a truce in the war with food. Get rid of ideas of what you should or shouldn't eat. 4. Challenge the food police. Food is not good or bad, and you are not good or bad for what you eat or don't eat. Respect your fullness. Listen for comfortable fullness. Discover the satisfaction factor. Make your eating experience enjoyable. When you make eating pleasurable, you may find it takes less food to satisfy you. Honor your feelings without using food. Become aware of times when when a feeling you might call hunger is really an emotion. Respect your body, then criticize. Respect your body rather than criticize your body for how it looks and what you perceive as wrong with it. Recognize it as capable and beautiful as it is. 9. Exercise. Shift from from losing weight to feeling energized is what it says. 10. Honor your health. Gentle nutrition. The food you eat should taste good and make you feel good. Okay, now number one, what I want to point out, I was actually astonished that these two women that founded this diet were dietitians. I would have sworn that they were some kind of mental health professionals, because this is the kind of garbage that the mental health professionals were telling my clients that were in my weight management group. And this is not going to help you lose weight. This is literally how fat people eat. I'm going to go over this in reverse from 10 to 1 about what's wrong with each of these. But this is literally how fat people eat and behave, and this is why fat people are fat, at least in my experience in working with fat people. Now, honor your health, gentle nutrition. The food you eat should taste good and make you feel good. Okay, now I'm sure they go over that in more depth in their book. I've never read their book. But the problem with that is, taste good and make you feel good. What is feeling good? That could be different things to different people. What makes you emotionally feel good might be different than what makes you feel good physically. Another problem with this is food that is too palatable, meaning it tastes good, encourages overeating. And I'm going to get into that in another step. So that's what's wrong with that one. That's number 10. Number 9, exercise. Shift your focus from losing weight to feeling energized. Now, this would make sense if you were pursuing bodybuilding, where you would require to eat in a surplus to gain muscle mass. but you would still have to shift the density, the macronutrient density and ratios to build muscle. But more importantly, what you need to understand here is you cannot exercise your way out of a bad diet. If you're eating unhealthful foods, which they say you can, if you're eating unhealthful foods, the results will be unhealthy weight gain. Okay? Exercise, you cannot exercise your way out of a bad diet. That's the truth. You can try all you'd like. You might be able to get some health benefits, but you will never be truly healthy. And if you're eating more than you're burning, you're certainly never going to lose any weight. Mind you, this diet claims that it's not a weight loss diet. Respect your body rather than criticize your body for how it looks and what you perceive is wrong with it. Recognize it as capable and beautiful as it is. This is fat acceptance at its core. I'm not saying people should hate themselves, but you should want to be more aesthetically appealing, if for no one else besides yourself. Okay? 7. Honor your feelings without using food. Become aware of times when a feeling you might call hunger is really an emotion. This is decent, but it's not true. I don't believe that most people that are emotionally eating are emotionally eating. I believe that hunger, as I've seen in practice, primarily is caused by hunger, by a drop in blood sugar from unstable blood sugar levels and from eating foods that are highly palatable but lack protein and lack the proper nutrients to keep you full. Predominantly protein. Most fat people do not eat enough protein to satisfy their hunger and stabilize their blood sugar. Number 6, discover the satisfaction factor. Make your eating experience enjoyable. When you make eating pleasurable, you may find it takes less food to satisfy you. The exact opposite is true. Most highly palatable foods do not satisfy hunger. In fact, they do the opposite. They cause unstable blood sugar, and they cause hunger to be more prevalent. Plus, if they're highly palatable, you want more and more and more to get more of that pleasure reward system going. And the thing is, this actually is what would cause emotional eating. If you believe in emotional eating, eating highly palatable foods is what would be the problem, is because it helps to release the serotonin and help with depression and things of that nature, but not in a healthy way. Okay. Respect your fullness. Listen for comfortable fullness. Again, a lot of people that are obese, what I've seen actually in when I was working with fat people, is most of it is not even food. It's juices, like sugary juices, orange juice, apple juice, grape juice, soda, especially sugar-sweetened soda, of course, not diet soda, but sugar-sweetened soda. That's what's making a lot of fat people fat. And then on top of that, you have the highly palatable foods like potato chips and whatnot. But that's more of an afterthought after the 4,000 calories of soda people are drinking a day. But also, why aren't people getting full? Well, because they're eating highly palatable foods that are not satisfying their appetites. Okay. Number 4, challenge the food police. Food is not good or bad, and you are not good or bad for what you eat or don't eat. I agree with this to an extent, as long as you're eating food. Some foods are not foods. A Twinkie is not food. White bread is not food. Okay? You got to look at what is food and what isn't food. Sugar is not food. White sugar is not food. Okay? Now, I agree food is not good or bad, but you have to understand that if you're trying to lose weight, too much food is bad. And if you're eating food in the wrong ratios, too much carbohydrate-rich food, not enough protein-rich food, it's going to screw up your hormones, and it's not going to allow you to feel full. And that's a big problem there. Now, make peace with food. Call a truce in the war with food. Get rid of ideas of what you should or shouldn't eat. Now, this is the epitome of stupidity when it comes to dieting. This is the psychobabble that comes out of the mouths of therapists that think they're personal trainers or nutritionists. This is not something a nutritionist would say. Make peace with food. Call a truce in the war with food. Get rid of ideas of what you should or shouldn't eat. Who the hell that's on a diet is at war with food? Honestly, you're trying to eat a more most diets, you're trying to eat a more nutrient-dense food that's not rich in calories but rich in nutrients, which is really, most natural foods are that anyway. If you're eating a nutrient-dense diet, unless it's oils, that's how they are in nature. 2. Honor your hunger. Respond to early signs of hunger by feeding your body. If you get too hungry, you are likely to overeat. Again, this is how fat people eat. Fat people honor their hunger by eating and eating and eating and eating and eating. That's just what happens. And they don't get any less hungry because of the foods that they are eating. Reject diet. The diet mentality. Intuitive eating is the anti-diet. It's not the anti-diet, it's just a crappy diet. Like, let's be honest here. That's not the anti-diet. That's the crappy diet. Okay? So there are certain diets that allow you to eat to a degree intuitively. One is Fletcherism, which promotes an entirely vegetarian diet and encourages you to fully chew your food, do a liquid, and then swallow it, and only eat when hungry and eat small portions when you are hungry. The next diet is the zone diet, which uses the hand-eye method, which says to eat a piece of food the size and thickness of the palm of your hand, and then the other 2/3 of the plate would be fruits and vegetables, low carbohydrate fruits and vegetables, okay, and a little fat drizzled on top. Not a whole bunch, a little bit of monounsaturated fat drizzled on top, such as olive oil, something like that. Another means of eating intuitively is the Atkins diet, or its numerous clones, which allow you to eat virtually unlimited amounts of low carbohydrate vegetables and also unlimited amounts of high protein, high fat foods. All of those diets work. This diet does not work. I left links in the description. Feel free to follow the links, look at the links, and understand the links. And that's all for this video.